Hi guys, it's Jaco here. So today a little bit of a different video because as you can see I'm driving to work. Unfortunately I need to do the video here because today I won't be at home. This is the only time that I have, and I wanted to talk about the game, the 2-0 loss against Newcastle in the Carabao Cup. We are out of the cup. Nothing that I wasn't expecting, to be fair, guys, if I need to be completely honest. The squad depth is absolutely not good enough to compete on all fronts. So in the end, one competition, it was natural that one competition was thrown away, and if I need to choose one competition, it's surely the Carabao Cup, the one that I can be okay with getting eliminated. Of course, it's never nice to lose. Of course, you always want to win, but yeah, before yesterday game, I didn't have a lot of confidence even going to the game, mainly because I saw the starting lineup. And it's the state of the team that we have, like is the level of the team that we have right now, a team that is not able to compete on different fronts. But talking about the game, we're gonna talk about the positives and then we go to the negative. The positives is quite fast because there aren't a lot of positives. I feel like the main positive is that the shape that we found in terms of possession, so the 3-2-4-1 or whatever you want to call it, is working quite well. I feel like even against Newcastle we find a lot of space between the lines, a lot of central progression, a lot of good situation in the final third. So I feel like tactically there is not a lot to say about the game in terms of negatively. Like Thomas Frank set us up very well, and I feel like he did absolutely his job as a manager. So nothing to do with Frank, this defeat, absolutely not. So everything is going to be of the individuals yesterday. So going with a little bit of the negatives that I've seen, I don't know what to say anymore about Richarlison, to be fair. Not good enough, unfortunately. I was the first one that was believing in Richarlison, especially after the Barley game. I thought that we could have seen a different level, a different type of striker, but it looks like he's always the same. Wasteful. Yesterday was absolutely atrocious also in terms of runs into the box. That is usually one of his strengths, and if he's not able to make those runs in the box, if he's not able to attack the ball well when you cross it, there is not much that Richarlison offers into the pitch. So again, we played without basically a number 9. Now I don't want to be too harsh, but seriously, when you need your number 9 to be the point of reference, to be the one that can hold up the play, that can do much more things, and 90% of time he loses the physical battle, is going down way too easily. So for me, Richarlison wasn't good enough again. For after the Barley game, I feel like we didn't see another game of Richarlison where he was good enough. So that's the first negative for sure. The other negative is a little bit the predictability that we have in the front three. Yesterday there was Spence on one side and Johnson on the other side, with Xavi Simons and Verbal as the number 10. So we had a lot of numbers, a lot of bodies, but not enough quality. Spence on one side, I don't even think that he played bad, because I feel like it was a good performance for Spence, but still not good enough in my opinion offensively. Too predictable, his crosses are too readable for the defense. In the 1-against-1 he tried a little bit more, but he's not a very gifted 1-against-1 player offensively, because defensively we know how good he is. But so he was offering very little, but even less was offered by Johnson on the other side. Johnson on the other side was absolutely almost zero. We had one or two situations where we found Johnson very well in transition, and he hit one of the most embarrassing first-time crosses that I've ever seen, and that's not something acceptable even for him, because if there is one thing from Johnson that you can expect is his first-time hits, like first-time finish, first-time crosses, all these kind of things is something that usually is quite good at. But even yesterday he wasn't able to do absolutely anything. On top of that, we still have a little bit of a problem with Xavi Simons. I repeat, he's not playing bad. He's not playing bad. He's okay. The problem is that for Xavi Simons, for a 60 million signing, for a superstar, because he was coming to Tottenham like a superstar, okay, is not good enough. Again, 0 shots. No, maybe 1 shot. Sorry, he had 1 shot that was hit with conviction. Other than that, too little. He's doing too little into the game. He needs to take more responsibility. He needs to shoot more from outside of the box. He needs to create more for the team. I repeat, he's not being awful. He's not being awful. He's being okay. Okay. And okay at this stage of the season is not anymore acceptable with Xavi Simons, I don't want to be harsher, I repeat, because I believe in the talent and in the qualities of Xavi Simons, but I need to see more. I need to see more. I need to see more shots from outside of the box. I need to see more conviction in the final third. So even Xavi Simons wasn't helping, Richarlison wasn't helping, Spence wasn't helping, Johnson wasn't helping. I feel like Berbal was quite positive, to be fair. I feel like Berbal was quite positive. I like Berbal in this position that he played against Newcastle. So in the 2 number 10s behind the striker, he doesn't need to come deep like he did with Monaco, because that's every time that he does that is a little bit of a mess. So now, against Newcastle, he had more the freedom to go up front, to make runs without the ball, to be a box-crushing player like he loves, and I feel like he did well. He occupied the box quite well. He put 1 good cross for Richarlison that wasn't able to hit, but it was a very positive performance for me, for Berbal. So then you had Bentancur, that even himself, I feel like he played quite well. He was finding good passes between the lines. He was finding good vertical passes. So I'm happy with Bent. I feel like he's improving a lot his game in the last 2 games. So lovely even there, because also Newcastle didn't create too much, bar the last minutes. We were completely out the game after the substitution that we made, especially Kudus was looking almost injured, you can say. So Newcastle had the best out of us, but in the end, for 60-65 minutes, Newcastle didn't create too much, and so even the midfield is not like it wasn't working defensively. It's more about the offensive phase that was absolutely non-existent. So you go with the 3 players that left from the defense to talk about. Danso, good defensively, but not good enough on the ball. In the second goal that we conceded, he was very clumsy with the ball once again, and that cost us the goal. Not all himself. We are gonna go with the most negative performance in a little bit, and you can understand who is the one that played the worst in this game. But Danso, good defensively, I repeat, great in terms of aerial ability, great in terms of being a low block, being someone that needs to really solidly defend. But when you ask him to play the ball, when you ask him to build from the back, a little bit uncomfortable. But yeah, we could have expected. João Palhinha, again, wow, because not because it was incredibly crazy. But you need to understand that now he's playing as a centre-back, and he looked comfortable even as a centre-back this time. He created the best chance that we had when he came forward with a brilliant piece of dribbling and the ball in the middle that, of course, Richarlison wasn't able to connect. But it was another very good performance, a solid performance defensively. Of course, it's not his role, but he's so good that he can also be a very competent centre-back for 90% of the Premier League teams. So little to say about Palhinha, reliable as always. What a signing that we have there. Pedro Porro, a little bit quiet again, and because now we are using Pedro Porro as a part of back 3 when we build up, so he's not much involved in the final third, and I don't know if we are making, if you're doing a favor on Porro and on our quality, because I prefer Porro when he gets involved a little bit more in the final third. He's good with his passes, even from deep. He have a long range of passes, so I can see why you're using him in that position, but I don't know. I would prefer also to see Porro a little bit more involved up front with the crosses. He had 2 or 3 crosses, but I want to see more because he's the best crosser that we have. So maybe thinking about pushing him a little bit more forward when we have the ball. But that's just a suggestion, because in the end the shape is working, so I think that we will keep this shape even for Chelsea. But yes, Porro a little bit quiet since we build with A3 at the back. And then we go with the biggest negative for me of the game. That was unfortunately Antonin Kinski. Even the first time that I saw Kinski, I had a huge doubt watching the clips, even when he was playing in Czech Republic, about his shot stopping. Like, the technique of his shot stopping was awkward. Every time it was a little bit awkward, not comfortable enough, not agile enough in my opinion, not athletic enough, not tall enough. One thing that Kinski for sure have is incredible ball playing ability, incredible high level, elite level of ball playing ability, but I really worry about his shot stopping and his goalkeeping ability in general. Against Newcastle, the 2 goals was a little bit embarrassing in my opinion. The first one was very slow to react. He dived into the goal. He was not even able to dive forward to try to push out a goal that was, yes, a tricky position, but it wasn't a very powerful header, and he had time to react to that. So I feel like in that sense he could have done much better. And also when he got into trying to save the ball, he had very weak hands. So that's another problem that I saw, not only this time but even before with Antonin Kinski. And the second goal speaks for itself. Like the timing of Kinski was absolutely off. He went for the ball but went nowhere near it and left the goal completely open. So basically he gave to Newcastle 2 goals. And Newcastle is not a team that needs to have a gift like that, especially when you play at St. James's Park, because the last time that we won at St. James's Park, I don't even remember when it was. So surely they don't need any gift. And Antonin Kinski gave 2 gifts to Newcastle. Not good enough, absolutely not good enough. Not ready to take the role of Vicario, as everyone was screaming about. Not even close to the level of Vicario in terms of shot stopping. And I don't feel like we can benefit much from the ball playing abilities to overlook the shot stopping problems, because the shot stopping problems are in this moment are very clear in my mind. So I'm not saying not play him anymore, but in the Premier League he's not ready. In the Champions League, for me, he's not ready. And unfortunately we need to understand what is his level. Seriously, what is the level of Antonin Kinski? Because I've been convinced with his feet, I repeat, not convinced yet about his shot stopping ability. And yesterday game was absolutely awful. So talking about a little bit the players that came from the bench, especially 2 players now. I don't remember the rest how they played, because the last part of the game was not really inspiring. But Kudus and Kolomani maybe are the two that I want to talk about. Kudus looked injured, looked really off in terms of rhythm, in terms of pace, in terms of intensity. He wasn't the usual Mohamed Kudus that we know. So I worry a little bit about the fact that he's injured, because if Mohamed Kudus is injured, we are here for a long time, guys. He's the only with Kolomani, only forward that we have that is top 6 quality. The rest is not even close. So I hope that Kudus was just fatigue, was just a bad day, but he looked injured. So I'm waiting to see a little bit of how can you say? I'm waiting to see Tottenham saying something about the condition of Kudus, because against Newcastle, I repeat, he didn't look on form at all. It looked a little bit off. Another player that came on the pitch is Randal Kolomani, and once again for me he showed why he's our best striker by a million miles. As soon as he got into the pitch, you can see that the technical level and the technical foundation of the team improved a lot. He He had one good moment where he received the ball back to the goal, very far from the goal in our half, and with just one touch, he changed completely the scenario from a high pressure situation to us in the final third. In the end, the tackle was made by the referee in that case. That was a little bit awful all game, but we're not gonna talk about the referee too much today. But Randal Colomani showed once again in the few minutes that he have why he is our best striker and why we can't play on the high level without him in this moment, because he's able to link up with others. He's very technical, he's fast, he's agile, he's elegant, he's good technically. So he's exactly someone that you want now in the team, and that you can feel that when he's on the team we are much better than without him. So this is a little bit the summary of the Newcastle game. A bad game, bad result, but not the end of the world. In the end, it was impossible to stay in all competitions, so I'm okay to be out of the Carabao Cup if we can concentrate more on the Premier League, Champions League and FA Cup. So thank you guys, and see you the next time. Have a good day.